a mannequin. She always leaves me breathless and panicking. There's nothing I can do but stay out of sight. With every touch, she says I feel uneasy. She says my name and my thoughts get crazy. She said an hour more than this tonight. Lips the color of poison dart frog. Eyes the blue of my deepest fantasies. Such clearness, scared us away. Sweet like antifreeze. She's got a voice that was down from the hill, and it descends from 95 kills. If you know I die for a word from those lips. There is no alignment for other agendas, and we always decided someone to defend us. But it all been played with you with those hips. That's the color of the voice.
All right. Theoretically, this is working. We'll find out. I'm not 100% sure, and you know, there's a delay between me and Facebook updating, so I hope this is working. Oh, it looks like it is. I think we're in good shape. All right, cool. Well, hi Matt. I'm here with my buddy Matt, who is fucking rad as balls, and I'm just gonna bring him up on screen here. That's the guy right there. You're now visible and audible.
Sick. Yeah, it says that it's live now. I just got the update on my phone.
And I'll go to our portrait view. So we're both on the screen at the same time now. And won't that be special? This is fun for me. Like, I admit that I'm a giant dork, but this works.
I can't hail in comparison to your beauty, though. I'll try my hardest.
Oh, you do good. You do just fine. Look at you. Damn, baby. How have you been, my friend?
I've been pretty good, man. Had a few ups and downs, but definitely on the upswing now. Doing a lot better. How about yourself?
Pretty much, about the same, honestly. I found that my ability to, oh, you know what? I didn't push the button. It's just stuck on you. I should probably push the button. I'm learning. There I am. Oh, man. Yeah, no, I'm it's the quarantines and things are, messy at best sometimes. And
yeah, man.
We're learning.
Yeah. Right now, I just keep my fingers crossed for as soon as they announce stuff that we can have a show again. That's what I'm counting down on, man.
I'm so looking forward to finally being able to play shows again, but at the same time, I'm totally nervous about it because, I did play a show when we did the last letting up of restrictions and stuff. Clint wanted us to play a show with Amigo Phantasma, and I was like, I kind of struggled with it, and I thought about it, and I was like, we're not going to draw flies. We're not a huge, massive band at the best of times, and this is not the best of times, so we're not going to have a big crowd. I know he was taking it very seriously, the whole, cleaning and sanitizing and everything, and it was, so I took the risk, and it was fine, but it was a little nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie.
That's one of those kind of calculated risks that you have to work with right now, kind of thing, because it's like, what is it worth, kind of thing like that, because I've seen shows that are being put on in the States right now that have 300 people in a backyard doing a mosh pit and stuff like that, which as much as I can't wait for that to happen, I want it to be safe before that happens.
Yeah, it's the catch-22. We're all dying to fucking get on stage and raise some hell and all that kind of shit, but I don't want to be the reason people get sick. Hello, my elder child. What's up? Oh, okay. Yeah, you can't see him no matter how far you bend over. Oh man, yeah, but no, I completely feel it. It's music's in the bones, and I miss it so much. I mean, I'm glad we're able to do things during the meantime, but it ain't the same, right?
Yeah, I'm stoked that there's been a bunch of bands putting in the effort to do live streams and really cool live streams and stuff like that. But yeah, it's still a bummer. I miss cheers and beers with my friends and the actual experience of watching a band live and getting your eardrums blown out and everything like that. And yeah, it's not the same.
No, it's absolutely not. And the making of music is different too, right? I mean, that's something that I have a hard time with. Like, you know, one of the bands I'm in, we're doing stuff, but two of the three bands I'm in haven't done a thing, right? And it's difficult. Are you guys doing stuff?
The up and down, like, so we started doing some recording and stuff like that just before like the lockdown hit, kind of thing like that. So I think we have like 4 or 5 demos set up right now, kind of thing like that. We gotta re-record everything, and then we gotta mix and master it and everything like that. But we have like a few scratch tracks that we've been working with lately, and we're just gonna continue going on, like working on stuff. We really want to do a full-length album, and we have like a mindset for a full-length album, kind of thing. We have a whole bunch of stuff planned, but just everything keeps getting pushed back. Like, we were talking about shooting a video, we were talking about getting like vinyl pressed and doing all this other stuff, but it's just like none of it's even feasible right now, kind of thing like that. So it's just a matter of trying to like keep ourselves entertained and like trying to master our craft and everything like that.
Yeah, which is really hard to do when you're not in the same room. I feel that very strong.
Yeah, I can only drive around screaming in my car so much. It doesn't really help anymore.
Yeah. For me, like, you know, I play bass and trumpet on the Facebook Live quite a bit. Just it's a, you know, way I can sort of con myself into keeping on practicing. But it ain't the same, you know. It feels very, very different. It, you know, it's you fuck up more. Like, there's an energy, even when you're just like, you know, jamming with your buds. There's an energy there that isn't something we can recreate.
Definitely not. Yeah, like there's something about like seeing your friends and jamming and like being around other people in the like-minded headset kind of thing like that, or mindset kind of thing. Like, everyone working on the same task kind of thing. Like, everyone's trying to work on the same song, trying to do the same thing or whatever kind of thing. Like, right now, I'm just sitting in my car, like, just doing gutturals kind of thing like that. Like, there's only so much I can do at the time.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. It's you know, like, it's great that we have the options that are there and the technologies that are there, but you know, it isn't the same. No matter what you do, it's just not going to be the same. And you feel it, right? I miss being with, you know, my buddies and jamming and writing music. You know, Bodies of Everest has been quite active. We did a lot of like, you know, the drummer will record a drum track and then post it up on our Google Drive, and then I'll grab it and I'll come up with a bass line, you know, like that kind of thing, which has been really helping our writing process. But
that's a really smart move.
Yeah, it's not easy because I don't have like high-tech equipment. No, none of us do, right? And you know, so I'm like, I've got a line out from my amp into my computer, and I'm like, I hope this doesn't suck.
Especially like, you don't really have the opportunity to like tweak your tone that much with that sort of deal. Like, you have like what's in front of you, and then what you're like, your guitar kind of thing like that. It's really hard to like really get the true feel of what the sound is, kind of thing. Like, you're not running through your head, you're not running through your amp or anything like that. Or like, I don't know how your setup is, but a lot of people don't have that opportunity, kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, you might have this like masterful amp and a whole pedal setup, kind of thing like that, but you're stuck with your bare bones of whatever instrument that you've got.
Yep, I've got for my trumpet, obviously I got nothing. But for the bass, I've got you know, it's a solid state amp. There's no head. It's just one big chunk. And then I've got like a fuzz, a delay, or sorry, a wah, and a condenser. Condenser? Can't even think of the word for it. The thing you step on, so it all goes pretty flat. One of them's, and that's you know, and what I hear coming out of the speaker often isn't the same as what happens on the computer. And you know, no matter how much effort you put in, you're like, well, that was fun. Guess I'll just do this. Griff's commenting on the live stream. He says, it's my boy Matt. I miss shows just as much as everyone. I want to see a thrash show again and a black metal one.
Much love, Griffin. Hell yeah, thrash and black metal come back in full force, man. Yeah, I just missed like all the bands. Like, I really hope that Hyperia is doing really well out in Vancouver and everything like that right now. it was Dave's birthday yesterday. I think it was maybe yesterday or 2 days ago. So big shout out to that
Right on.
goofy vest and chest idiot. Nah, he's not an idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I can't wait to, like, there's obviously like the desire to have the show again, but like I just miss my friends, man. Like I miss seeing Griffin, I miss seeing you, I miss seeing Mark,
Yep.
like this, I miss seeing, and like I want to be able to like, you know, cheers beers with my friends. I want to be able to share a doobie and not like be afraid of it, kind of thing like that. Like
Yeah, rubbing it with sanitizer.
exactly. I don't want to have to like bring out a little secondary piece of paper, like.
Yep. I completely, I get it. I miss being in the world, and you know, for you, you know, I remember, I'm sure you were like fresh 18 when I first started seeing you at shows. Like this has been your entire adult life has been deep in the music scene, and
Yeah,
to just
man,
have it just go.
myself like so much in that, because if I didn't get into the music scene, I would have gotten into some a lot worse, and I would have been a lot worse off, kind of thing. So I as soon as I got into, and especially the metal scene, because I remember being a young kid and being like, I gotta find something that interests me, like I have to, kind of thing like that. And I remember music, like surface level music, I was like, ah, it's okay, whatever. And then I remember like going to high school and seeing kids come to my high school with like Pantera shirts and Creator shirts and Deicide and stuff, and I was like, and you know, like all those logos are like, you know, there's Satan holding a skull, or there's like a big panther and shit like that, and I'm like, that is sick, like that is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like using LimeWire to look up these bands and being like, oh, like this is so extreme, kind of thing like that. Like I remember the first time I heard Cannibal Corpse, and like looking around and be like, dude, if someone knew what I was listening to right now, like they'd put me away. Like this is the craziest thing I've ever listened to, sitting here holding my Walkman, like, oh.
Mm-hmm. I remember, like, so my best friend growing up, this guy Ian, who is no longer with us. Ian was like the metalhead kid that, like, before everyone else was a metalhead, he was a metalhead, and he tried so hard to show me the way, and I was not ready. I was a very Christian young lad, raised in a good Christian home, and so all I heard was the devil, and you know, he would play me like Iron Maiden and like stuff that now I'm like, oh my God, that's so fucking awesome. And I remember the best part of that, actually, we went camping when we were 18 years old. And I was just at that point where I was starting to be like, maybe I don't believe in God, and maybe I'm not a good Christian boy. Like maybe this is a thing. And we went to Seattle. We went to some little record store there, and there's a thing of cassettes at the front, and we assume it's all like, you know, local band stuff. And so he picked up this band, and they're called, maybe you've heard of them, Merciful Fate.
Yeah, that name sounds a little bit familiar.
A time or two. So we go to the campground, and we've got a little cassette deck, and it's late, so we're playing it quietly and we're listening. And you know, this is back in the day when you know, liner notes were amazing. You would spend hours just poring over the liner notes and reading all the shit. And it was the Return of the Vampire, or whatever the name of the album is. And in the liner notes, like, it, you know, basically talks about, like, you know, this is what I was doing when I wrote this song, and we were all like, you know, drinking the blood of innocent virgins in a cathedral's graveyard in Notre Dame or something like shit like that. And we're reading this, going like, that's so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And at the very end, it says, "Satanic regards, King Diamond," and I was like, oh.
Yeah, right. Like some true evil shit, man. Like yeah, it's so funny. That's like, I just got into, like, with quarantine, listening to records more and like adding my record collection. I used my roommate. He had a really nice record player, and I bought several records. And then when I moved out, I was like, hey, I got to keep spinning records. So it's so cool to have like the big, like, hard copy and like looking over stuff. And like I got an Exhumed and Iron Reagan split not that long ago.
Nice.
And, yeah, dude, it's clear. Like the vinyl itself is crystal clear. You can see through it. And in the liner notes, it's like Iron Reagan, thanks, these bands, whatever. It's Exhumed thanks no one.
Yeah.
I thought that was like the funniest thing, and just like all the like how many bands like in that, you know, who they thank or who their sponsors are and shit like that. Like how many times they'll put goofy ass shit in there, kind of thing like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I just miss that, like going through the record book or like anything like that, and just be like, oh.
Absolutely, man. I loved like, you know, when I was a kid, we had LPs, and you know, you'd get your 12-inch, and I'm just looking at the video and it looks really choppy online, so hopefully it's not terrible for the people that are watching. But yeah, you know, you'd get the LP and it'd have, like, you know, the song lyrics on it, and then you got the cassettes, you know, you had to unroll them and they'd have all the song lyrics, and every now and then they'd have like the band would like to thank our moms. And then
Yeah.
CDs was like, suddenly everyone were like, I'm a fucking poet. I got 6,000 pages of my diatribe that I want to go through here. And
Right? Yeah.
Che, I see Che says, hey, they never cured herpes. Kellen says, happy birthday to that Polish boy.
What sweethearts.
It's good to have that love, right? You know, that's the thing. Happy birthdays and herpes cures, and you know, we're a tight-knit family.
Yeah. And like, yeah, like, you know, they don't have a cure, but that means they're still trying. I'm assuming, I don't know. I haven't done enough research on herpes cures, but I'm hoping they come up with something.
I think it's, you know, I'm kind of curious to know what all this work with like mRNA vaccines and everything, like, what is that going to do with regards to, you know, the diseases that we so far haven't been able to cure? You know, like as we're investing so much more in vaccines now, like,
Yeah.
what are we going to get at?
One of the other things that I've been trying to stay positive on this, because so many people are being butthurt about it and saying that there's going to be like negative consequences or like side effects from vaccines. I'm thinking opposite route. What if you start getting cool ass shit? Like, what if you start getting superpowers, so you can, like, I don't know, like shoot shit out of your fingers or something like that?
I would be 100% down. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, like people, I think you should try and lean towards this like more positive end of the spectrum, and think about like if you're gonna get a side effect, it's gonna be like, I don't know, you can like cook a hot dog in fucking a second with your eyes or something like that, or you can shoot spaghetti at your fingertips.
Something that'll come in handy in a bank robbery, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, yeah, the vaccine thing always just frustrates me, because like it's clear, established science. We know what we're doing. Nothing is perfect, and you know, bad things can happen, but this is not a real significant threat. Like, people are not going to wind up suddenly having like extra limbs growing out of their head, or like severe damage. It's just not that world, you know? Chill, people.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, but it's also, to me, it's kind of become funny and nice, like how, like, since the beginning of this quarantine and lockdown, it's become like pretty like, oh, now I can see who's dumb, or like who's, you know, like kind of weeding up the friends and stuff like that. You're going through and you're like, oh shit, like now that I know your perspective on this, I know not to hang out with you, or like not to talk to you, kind of thing like that. Like, now that I know that you're against this, like I don't want to spend time with you anymore, kind of thing. Totally. Like that.
Yeah, I've had a few times where, you know, I see people, you know, sharing stuff out of frustration, and I'll be thinking like, you know, I guess I never did ask you how you felt about the blacks, but here we are. Clearly, I know now, and unfriend. You know, like, what the fuck is wrong?
Yeah, that's another huge, just so many different aspects of shit like that, and like people like, well, you know, these Black Lives Matter movements, you see them out just because they're trying, they're doing something. Like, but like the color community, people have been trying to get, like, just have what we do, what we have every day, thing like that, and they have to struggle with it. And like people are like, oh, yeah, I don't really see it's that big of a deal. It's a huge deal. It should be such a big agenda for you.
Totally.
It's crazy that there's people, well, I don't want to wear a mask.
Then don't wear a mask and hang out with your grandmother, and the two of you can die together. Yeah, I'm like, that's callous, obviously, but like,
No, but I'm in this like, okay, take your mask off, sit at home with your dumb friends. You can all talk about how much you dislike certain people for no apparent reason. Like, be ignorant anywhere else, man. And like, I'm so tired of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I just can't get over people. Oh, I got a couple new comments here. A certain Miss D says, "Oh, hey, hi, howdy, partners." I'm pretty sure she'd have said it exactly in that vernacular. Shay says, "But you still shared my joints." Was my point. and he also says, "I like that Yoemans positivity," which I have to agree. It's one thing I've always enjoyed about conversations with you is you've just always been. You know, I'm sure you go through your own shit, and like, you know, I'm not pretending like, oh, you're never upset or whatever, but you've always had like a really great, very happy, very positive, upbeat vibe that I eat that shit up.
Thank you so much, man. Sorry, I just had a really big hoot.
Happen.
But I try and stay on a positive. Like, I did a lot of growing up, as a lot of people have, most people have, kind of thing like that. And I used to, like, I was just talking to the guys in the band the other day. I used to be so, like, on the razor's edge with everything. I had to be brutal. Everything had to be extreme for me. I always had chains on my pants. Like, I always wore extreme shirts, like big spiky wristbands, kind of thing. Like, you knew that I was a metalhead. Like, you could hear me walking down the street before you saw me, kind of thing like that. Like, I was like, and I never, it was always like extreme, brutal death metal, like always the craziest, gnarliest, evil shit, kind of thing like that. And like, it gets so tiresome. Like, I don't have the energy to be fucking angry all the time, and like, I don't have the energy every day to like put all 38 wristbands on and stuff like that. Like, I can't anymore, man.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm glad that I got to that point at an early age, because it's kind of relieving in some ways to me now that like when I go out and I see a guy that is 30 and doing that kind of thing like that, because it's like, oh, he'll get there, kind of thing like that. Like, he's just gotta, like, and I feel like there's a lot of people that just gotta get there, kind of thing like that. Like, I have no, and I have no problem. Like, dress however you want. I don't give a fuck, kind of thing like that. Like, if you want to wear a onesie, if you want to wear a dress, if you want to spike your hair, I don't give a shit about any of that. But when you like, you're so dedicated to being extreme that you have to, like, oh no, if we're leaving the house, I have to listen to grindcore, kind of thing like that. It's like, holy shit, man.
It's grocery shopping. We're grocery shopping. Clearly, it's time for cattle decapitation. I see Chase saying, "We know your metal is fuck, Matt," and Kellen says, "You gonna shift to Hello Kitty core now, then?"
Yes, I will. I'll do it if there's a Hello. I don't know much about Hello Kitty song, but if someone drops a Hello Kitty song in the comments or in the link below, I'll do a vocal cover for you.
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty's gnarly.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, might look like a little smart, but she's badass.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's the unexpected. Hello Kitty fucked shit up. Right. She's not Dora the Explorer. She's taking no hostages, right?
Yeah,
and that's pretty cool too.
How long has Hello Kitty been around?
Oh Jesus! Like, I'm pretty sure Hello Kitty was a thing when I was in junior high, so that's like 8 years.
Oh, my girlfriend just hollered at me and let me know that Hello Kitty's been around for 50 years.
50 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was a long time, but wow, 50 years. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, man, that's great. That's a whole ass empire.
Yeah.
There's a hell of an empire, man. Dang.
When you think about it, like when they started, it would have been like, "Salutations, kitten."
Greetings to you, fellow feline.
Oh, man.
think about this, I'm kind of mad that I didn't get into Hello Kitty like deathcore early on now. Like I feel like this is a huge untapped market.
It's an opportunity, right? That's all it is. One big road to wherever you want to take it. Just open it up for you.
I'm game. I'm into this. I'm gonna lay down some gnarly Hello Kitty covers.
Sounds fucking awesome. I got asked to play trumpet in a couple songs for Swan's ukulele grindcore band. So.
Oh yeah, the Hawaiian Donkey Punch.
Yeah, Hawaiian Donkey Punch.
Oh so my god, yeah.
I haven't really, hit the final take yet, but we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. Grind trumpet stuff.
Doing trumpet on the ukulele grind track.
Yep, that's what the world is now. This is the future liberals wanted.
2021, I can make sentences like that now.
Totally. According to Luann, first appearance of Hello Kitty was November 1974. So very close to 50 years. That's 46 years. Approaching 47th year. I know this because apparently I'm older than Hello Kitty.
Hell yeah, that just means you party harder.
That's true. And I still look good for 260, so I'm feeling good. Oh man. So like if we weren't stuck in our houses doing nothing right now, what do you suppose you guys would be doing? Would you be like, is this normally like recording or touring, or what's the usual for you guys, Widow's Peak?
We had full intentions of taking 2020 off from touring in general. Like we were gonna jam and write more. So that was kind of cool that worked out for us. It's a bummer that it didn't work out for a whole bunch of other bands. There was a lot of tours that I was looking forward to seeing this summer. So I hope some can come to fruition from those.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. This is we'd be recording for sure right now. Like we're kind of in that recording stages. Like we have the full album wrote, kind of thing like that. Like we have, I think 12 or 13 track. It's like 12 tracks, and then we have an intro as well. So it's like a 13 track full length album. It's right around an hour long or so, something like that. And we've just been like in the process of recording, kind of thing like that. We have a couple rough tracks done right now that we gotta redo and like retouch and everything like that. And then we got a few more that we gotta do the demos for. But we're making our way for sure.
That's very, very cool.
Yeah, we wanted to do a tour of the States this year. Was kind of like our long-term idea was to take 2020 off, and then have the album kind of done for 2021 so that we could tour for it in 2021. But that like everything's been pushed back for right now, kind of thing like that. So yeah, ideally we'll have the album done for 2021, and we'll probably play some shows around the area this year if it becomes a possibility, when it becomes a possibility. And then maybe we'll just we'll shoot for a tour in 2022, and then instead of going to the States, since it's such a fucking nightmare, we'll go to Mexico or Brazil or Japan or something sick.
That would be fucking awesome. I would love to be able to tour with music. I think that'd be like, I've always been, like a dad that had to pay large amounts of child support and spousal support. So touring has never really been a thing. I've done little mini tours, but when you guys did your cross Canada tour the first time, I was like, I was so like happy, jealous for you, because I know that would have been an amazing time.
And yeah, it's the best. Like if I was touring when I was like 19 and shit like that, when I could still party a lot harder and everything. Well, I can party hard still. I could probably party harder now, but I get so much worse of a hangover than I did when I was a kid.
Oh yes. I remember being fucking liquor bulletproof. That is not
Yeah.
the case anymore.
No, yeah. Well, like I can drink pretty good now, but I just like I remember well like waking up like 19 years old and like, "Ah, all right, well, I'm gonna go do stuff," thing like that. Now, you know, the like, oh, no,
Yeah.
I'm trying to suck him.
Yep. I'm almost ready to get doing things. I figure, it's just probably like 3 hours of drinking coffee before I'll be ready to go out. I love the process of totally caffeinating my brain every morning, but that's the only way I move. That's exactly it.
I actually don't drink that much caffeine in general. Like my girlfriend, when she first moved in, brought a bunch of really nice coffees and like really tasty coffees. So
Yep.
sometimes she'll make me like a nice raspberry truffle coffee or like a bananas Foster coffee because I'm a spoiled little bougie bitch. But it's
Ah,
delicious. I'm into it. I drink like Red Bull sometimes, kind of thing like that. But if maybe like 2, 3 a week, like if that kind of thing.
yeah.
I've never like felt like when I was younger, same thing. When I was like 17, I used to drink like 3 energy drinks a day, and I would like need it to function. And now
Yeah.
if I drink like a full size like big energy drink like a Monster and it's sitting, I'll start getting the cold sweats and I start shaking and I get like aggravated and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
I can't hang anymore.
I don't drink a lot of the energy drinks, and we did years and years ago. I think it was like the first or the second time we did a Beer Core Awards show. I went down to X92.9 to do an interview. And I sat down, and Newsboy was sitting there, and he's like, "Oh, why don't you have yourself a Beaver Blast? Grab one for you. It's good." And I'm not thinking about this being an energy drink. I've never heard of Beaver Blast. It's obvious. You look at it, it's an energy drink, but I'm not smart. So I'm like, take a sip, and I'm like, "Oh, that's orangey." Glug, 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 glug. Just fucking pound it back. And then Darren Ollinger comes out. He's like, "Okay, let's go to the interview." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm totally ready. Let's go to the interview. Oh, that's gonna be so great. There's so many things I want to talk about."
I remember Vans Warp Tour used to be, or still might be, sponsored by Monster Energy Drink.
Yep.
And I remember, I would have been like 17 or something like that, and going and watching Bring Me the Horizon play, and they were just giving free energy drinks that day. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll have another one. So I was pretty much running on energy drinks. And I remember, like drinking one, watching Bring Me the Horizon, but I was watching Protest the Hero that day, and I had a sugar crash like during their set.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm just standing, and I feel myself like, whoa, like I feel like I'm just about to nod off, kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
And this monster, like people slam into me, and I'm having a hard time standing up, and I'm like, it is so hot out here, yet I am cold as hell. What is happening right now?
Oh yeah, man. Why is my body drenched in sweat, but I'm freezing?
Yeah, exactly. And then like slowly like put into it, like, okay, so I haven't had anything to eat, and this is my 5th Monster.
Mm-hmm.
My body's gonna shut down soon.
Yep. Oh man, I feel that. Oh, I just slammed the door into my leg.
Don't do that. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm okay. Yeah, it's the real dangers of smoking. Holy crap! It's snowing out. Snowing out like a lot more than I thought it was gonna. That sucks.
Yeah, my phone just gave me a snowfall warning, which I'm not stoked on.
Yeah. After that one huge dump of snow we had, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I don't want winter anymore. We're good.
No, yeah, that was awful. I remember like I tried to pull out of my parking lot, and I just slid out of my parking lot across the street, and I like just kept sliding. I smacked into the curb, And that's where I called it that day.
Mhm.
I made it across the street, and I kind of weaseled it so I wasn't like in anyone's way. And then I was like, it's like, even if I get this thing out and start going again, I'm gonna get it stuck again, or I'm gonna get stuck. Like it's not worth trying to make it to work right now. Like, fuck
Oh
this.
yeah.
And
The
like, I applaud the people that were smart enough, prepared for it, got brand new tires. They have really good 4-wheel drive, and like we're still able to go to work and drive intelligently. I was not one of those people, along with many of them. Like
Yeah.
that. So I also applaud the people that realize that they're not going to make it to work that day and just leave it instead of trying and like causing an incident or hurting themselves or anything like that.
for sure, for sure. There's nothing cool about that. I live like. Can I switch my camera on here? I can't. I'll go like this. There's a traffic circle like right there. You see it? I don't know. It's there
Yeah.
anyways. And I watch like because I'm right by a college, so there's kids constantly driving looking for a parking spot, and they hit that traffic circle, and like these roads are never great, but when you get this huge dump of snow, it's comic. I could stand here for hours and just be like, hee, hee, hee. Oh, of course I'll come help push you out.
Yeah. Well, at least you're there to be kind and help.
Absolutely. It's the least I can do, right?
After you get a little bit of a chuckle in.
Yeah. It's a win-win. Everyone wins. I laugh, you get pushed out of the snow. And it all works out.
Exactly. Smart move.
Yeah. Yeah, we were Amigo Fantasma was talking about recording right before all the shit hit the fan. And right away, I'm bitter right now. Right away, I went and I figured out tempos for every single song. I downloaded a DAW. I started like planning out all the songs, and I did like this is what I did with Johnny Incognito, my first band. All of our scratch tracks were not like guitar and vocals. It was just me going dan 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 dan. Here comes the chorus, go, because that's the
Dynamite.
band didn't know the songs well enough to play them by themselves. So our scratch tracks were proving to be impossible. So I was like, well, I could just do that. So I recorded me doing that, and then I recorded the trumpet lines, and I put them up on Google Drive, and I was like, guys, we can totally do this. And they're like, we totally will.
I admire that dedication though. That's pretty amazing, and especially like it's funny
It was only me
that we have now, because like when Chris will send us a scratch track and he'll be like, hey, I have this idea for a song, and it's just lines to me. Like he sends us the file and it's Guitar Pro and it's got all the notes. Okay, I just hit play and I'm like, holy shit, you guys can play this?
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. And Chris quite often when he does write, he'll write stuff that he's like, yeah, this is really challenging and I can't play it right now, but like that's why I wrote it, because I'm gonna teach myself how to play it. And I'm like, holy shit, man, like and that's one of the things I love about working with a guy like that, is he makes me want to challenge myself, kind of thing like that. Like, so I don't want to like do the same vocal delivery on every song or same tone, kind of thing like that. I'm like, okay, well, fuck, now I want to try and learn like how to do 64th notes or something like that, kind of thing like that.
Yep.
But and that's what, like, one of the things that's nice about working with like good musicians and stuff like that. And I'm sure you've come across it too, like people that are like, have you ever tried this? And you're like, no, I haven't, but I'll give it a whirl, kind of thing like that.
Looks like I'm about to. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like like if you, and I have nothing wrong. Like I love a bunch of bands that like have developed their sound and that's what they play, kind of thing like that. But you also can't be surprised if all your songs sound the same and you're wondering like, well, why doesn't anyone like us? Like because you sound like 33 other bands, kind of thing like that. Like if I can listen to this and I can listen to this and I can listen to this and I get the same everything out of it, then what makes you stand out so much more to me, kind of thing like that. That's just my opinion.
No, I'm with you. And this is dumb, but like when I was a kid, Nickelback was touring. They've been was not necessarily a kid, but like early in the music scene, Nickelback was working their asses off to be a big band. And I remember there was a day I was watching Open Mic with Mike Bullard, and he's like, our musical guest is going to be Nickelback. And I was like, oh, sounds like the boys are finally getting somewhere. That's that's awesome. And I watched or listened to them before, and they played the song Leader of Men. And I was like, that's a cool song. I think I'm going to go out and buy that album, support local industry, because I don't know what the fuck is going on in the world. So I go out and I bought the album and I put it on, and the first song comes on. I'm like, oh, yeah, man, I remember this is the song they were playing on the open mic. Only it wasn't. And the whole album was just the same fucking song over and over again. And I was like, why did you tour so hard?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's, like I said, some bands that like develop a sound and you kind of go for that sound and you want that sound kind of thing like that. But then there's other times and you're like, this whole album is the same song kind of thing. Like there's no deviation to it. And like, especially when you, like, if you listen to one song and then you listen to the next song and you're like, all right, chorus, bridge, solo, and outro kind of thing like that. Like when you can pick up a song, like just by listening to it one time kind of thing like that, then it's like, I don't know, it's just not for me kind of thing like that.
Yeah,
Which,
no,
like,
I'm with you.
Yeah, and it, like, I can see why it is popular, because it's so easy to go along with kind of thing like that. Like that's why I mean, like, there is a formula, if you will, for pop music kind of thing. Like popular music, they write it to be catchy. That's the whole purpose of it kind of thing like that. They write it with the catchy choruses and the hooks and everything like that to get it stuck in your head. And that, like, it is what, like, it, and that's one of the things that I think is kind of goofy about people like shitting on pop music kind of thing like that. I understand it's not your cup of tea kind of thing like that. That pop artist is probably significantly more successful than you are. Like, I bet you they got, like, you can shit on them left, right, and center. They probably got a bigger bank account than you do and ever will. And I had a second point. I got to come back to it. I'm pretty baked right now. But like, like that's like mainly what I was going with. Like, they're out there doing their own thing, and like you're sitting there working your 9 to 5 job or whatever it is, kind of thing like that. Being a guy who shits on a lot of bands, kind of thing like that. Like, oh, this band sucks. Okay, kind of thing like that. And a lot of time, like, especially like when you go on Facebook or anything like that, and you share something like, look how shitty this band is. You just gave that band publicity. Like, you just shared. That's like, it doesn't matter if it sucks or not, kind of thing like that. Now other people are like, well, I got to see how bad this is. So now, like, if you think it's so bad and it doesn't deserve whatever, so many views, kind of thing like that, you just contributed to 5, 15, whatever views of this video because you were like, it sucks so bad, I have to let other people know how bad it sucks. Like, if something sucks, don't say anything about it.
Oh yeah, like, I imagine Rick Astley made some fucking money when Rick Rolling became a thing. I guarantee you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just all the fucking bank. And I bet he was just sitting there going like, okay.
Well, yeah, like, especially, I bet you he didn't really have that much to do with that kind of thing. He's just like, the internet, right? Like, just like,
I'm a meme.
Yeah, gotta love it when a plan comes together. My mom saw Rick Astley do like a dinner show in Vegas when she was there with one of her girlfriends like years ago, and she said it was like so cheesy, and like, so like he comes out in like a cheap suit that's too tight for him and like does like a very obviously like choreographed dance routine that he's been like doing for so long, like that. And they're like, it's beautiful because they're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be exactly what this is, kind of thing like that. But it's also just like, holy shit. Like, if I was ever at that point, I'd be like, all right, well, I think I'm gonna call it a day on this music thing. Like, if I ever got to
be an accountant.
Yeah, I guess I'll try crack. No kidding.
I'll tell you, man. Years and years ago, I was Clint called me up and he's like, "Hey, you want to work the door tonight?" This is back before Vern's was where it is now, and it was in the same spot as I think it's there's a sushi place just right beside Broken City, Anyways, it's a little tiny place. He's like, "Do you want to work the door tonight? Happy Creator's playing." And I was like, "I don't know who the fuck Happy Creator is." Sure. Turns out Happy Creator is the I think it was the original bass player from Gob. Right, he quit the band right before they got big, and like that's his claim to fame is he left before anything good happened in his life. And he's doing this show, and it's this is a tiny room, like maybe if you're lucky, there's like space for 100 in Burns kind of thing. And he pauses between songs, and he goes, I play, just solo acoustic stuff, and mostly it's like, oh, there's a girl that I want to hang out with, and she's in, Toronto, so I'm gonna, tour along, play shows all the way, and it'll cover my cost of gas and shit to go see my girlfriend and come back. And because one day I was on tour, and I'm in Minneapolis, and I'm feeling really low, like really bottom of the barrel low. What have I done with my life? And I had a night off in Minneapolis, so I grabbed their little local magazine of who's playing where tonight. And one of the spots, it says Joey McIntyre from New Kids on the Block is playing, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna fucking go. Like go, and it's a room smaller than this, and there's like 20 people in the room, and finally Joey McIntyre comes out. And he puts a CD player down on the stage, and he presses play, and he sings his parts, and he dances his parts of the New Kids on the Block songs. And he's like, no matter what, no matter how far down I go, I'm not Joey McIntyre pretending to lip sync New Kids on the Block. Like, it was a great fucking moment.
Oh my God, that is awesome. Oh my God, it makes me so happy that that's a real thing that happened, man. I would love to go on a tour and just like, oh yeah, I just sing the choruses of Pantera songs or something.
That would be amazing. Oh my God.
And walk on stage with like a boot, like nothing fancy, but like an old.
Think maybe I'm back. I'm not sure. Let's see what Facebook thinks. Oh, I'm back. Okay. I'm back. Sorry, Facebook. Something happened there. I'm not sure what it was. Oh, I'm looking at my computer. Something happened there. I'm not sure what it was. There was a problem with the connection. It seems to be that I got back in. So I think that Matt will be back in a second. I blame me. I'm still figuring things out with the new things. hopefully Matt will be back on in just a second. If not, I thoroughly have enjoyed the hell out of chatting with him. This has been awesome. What am I seeing? Do I see? I see me. I see Matt. You're there. Okay. Let's see if you're in the. I hear you. You hear me? Okay. I don't know what happened there. I think I probably cocked something up like a schmuck. So you should be back, and I think we're good. I'm just sort of keeping an eye on the live stream to make sure that it restores you to your rightful glory. Maybe it's not. I'm gonna do a thing real quick. I can solve this. Okay. We're all right. It's just I'm a noob. We gotta go where that 1 sec. Studio mode. Click on this. Go properties. Just paste this here, and this should fix our problem, I think. I see you. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to go back here, and then I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to go there, and we'll see if everything is back to life. I think we're good.
All right, word.
Pretty sure we're okay. We'll find out.
I don't know. Yeah.
I see you back on the Facebook. It took us. There's like a massive delay between our conversation and what happens on Facebook. So, but I see us both back in that window now. So.
Oh well, I'm glad that we got all that racist stuff out of the way then.
Right? How convenient.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks. I can't fucking type. We are back. All right. There we go. So everything's back to where it was. All right. So yeah, we were just laughing at Joey McIntyre.
Yeah. That's gold. That's gold. And like I love the fact that people paid money for that. Like more than one person paid money for that.
I knew a girl years and years ago. Vanilla Ice was coming to town, and she's like, "Oh, dude, I'm going to see Vanilla Ice tonight." And I was like, "Why you don't even like Vanilla Ice? What are you doing?" And she's like, "I don't like Vanilla Ice, but I like the idea of getting a pair of my mom's panties and throwing them on stage."
I like the idea of like going to shows for like an ironic purpose and everything too. Like I think that's such a funny thing. Like I've definitely like done similar things like that, kind of thing like that, or like been given a free ticket to a show that I don't like wouldn't normally go to, but it's like, well, fuck it, all right.
Yeah. That was the best thing about working at the bar was there was a lot of like the mid-level shows, like the small shows, I probably would have been to no matter what. But the mid-level shows, there was a lot of times where I was going out to see a band play that I was like, I don't fucking care about Age of Electric, and I don't care that singer guy has a new project. Like, it's not the 80s anymore, fella, but I'm going to go, and I'm going to enjoy the fuck out of myself.
Hell yeah, why not? Make the most out of it.
Yep, absolutely. Many a strange night, working at the D back in the day.
I couldn't imagine I've never worked at the bar or anything like that, but just hearing like stories from friends about like just like even just like on a wing Wednesday and shit like that, which is too funny to me.
Yeah, it brings out the weirdest and most interesting of people.
That's Without Mercy shirt. I meant to mention it earlier. I forgot.
Yeah, I love those boys. They're killing it right now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that album is it's going seismic.
So clever.
Yeah, well, I don't like to brag, but yeah, no, it's I'm really excited for them. They're making some moves and in ways that no band I'm in ever is gonna.
I'm excited for the future for him.
Absolutely. If there is a future, and that's a dumb statement because, like, people talk about, like, what is the industry going to come back? Of course, the industry is going to come back. Bars, if I don't want the bars to fail. I'm hoping places like Burns and Dickens, can make it through this. But the reality is, if they don't, someone else will eventually, we'll force our way in somewhere, and we'll make new homes. It's the big guys that are actually going to get long-term hurt out of this. The Nickelbacks and Joey McIntyre. Pardon me, hiccup. I don't know why.
Couldn't tell you, mate.
Yeah, I'm mixing my beers. I had a fancier Ponderosa Goza beer, which is a sour beer.
Those are really good. I was wondering what you were drinking. I thought it was like a big bottle of water.
Oh God, no! They don't put any beer in water. So, no, it's the Ponderosa Goza from Wild Rose.
Really good.
It's a yummy sour pomegranate kind of thing, and it's quite nice.
Yeah, like Wild Rose brews that here in Calgary, right?
Yeah, Wild Rose. Yep, just straight from the hood. I think they're breweries in Ogden or something. I could be wrong about that, but
no shit, that's sick.
Yeah. And then I got a 4-pack of those, but I'm saving them, so now I'm back to my Lucky Lager.
I got a case of Old Mill the other night, and I'm working on those bad boys. I left them outside for too long, so they're a little bit slushy right now, but it's kind of refreshing. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like a beer Slurpee.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
I got no complaints about the beer Slurpee.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's a pretty Canadian beverage,
Oh, very much so. Yeah, I don't drink a lot of cold beer anymore, which is unless I'm like in a bar. And there's a reason for this. I've got a giant cavity in one of my teeth because I have like 3 teeth left. And so if I drink a cold beer, it just always goes right into the cavity. And it's like a big cavity from a filling that broke. And just hangs out with the nerve. Like, hey, how you doing, nerve? You like that, huh?
Ooh.
And so warm beer doesn't seem to do that. So I'm trashing it up with warm beer.
Holy fuck, you're a trooper. That's rough. I'm sorry to hear that.
It still tastes good. There's certain beers that warm are just fucking not warm like hot, but room temperature kind of thing.
Yeah,
yeah. Some of them are nasty, but Lucky ain't so bad.
A warm Lucky sounds like garbage to me.
It does, but it doesn't taste bad.
Yeah, I like just a warm beer in general. Like I got nothing against Lucky, but a warm beer, hard pass, bud.
Honestly, I never would have been happy about the whole thing, but I bought a case of beer, and then my tooth started being angry, and I was like, well, fuck this. And I just drank them, sitting out instead, and I just as a experiment. I was like, huh, I can do this. This is not a terrible taste. And I think now I'm accustomed to it, so I'm like, oh yeah, it's a nice warm Lucky Lager. Yum yum yum.
You acquire it. Fair enough.
Yeah. Cold is still better, but the discomfort really just blows.
It outweighs it.
Yeah, exactly. Takes away from the joy, and I can only have like a part of a beer, and then I'm like, oh, I'm done for the night. That doesn't sound like me.
Yeah, you gotta nurse them now.
Yeah.
Have any not in the cooler?
Do you have something? Do you have guys like have a match or lighter that I could borrow? It's gonna cook my beer later. And it's funny because when you want a cold beer, a warm beer is not a cold beer. That is absolutely true.
Oh yeah, the craving, like, oh, a hard day's work out in the hot sun. I can't wait to fuck.
Yeah. I hope there's something tepid at home waiting for me. Yum.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember there was a time at Distortion where our beer cooler died. the engine for the Freon thing died.
Yeah.
And we had like, you probably saw it, there was like buckets of ice behind the bar, and we're just,
I do
and
remember.
there's one ice machine in the whole fucking hotel. We're bleeding it dry. That was a long couple days.
Jim, I'm gonna have to cut you off pretty quick here. My girlfriend just made a really great smelling dinner, and my phone's about to die. So
Totally
I'll
get it.
chat with you again another time, and I appreciate the conversation tonight, my friend.
It has been a pleasure. I'm very happy to just have some time chatting with you and catching up. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much. Take it easy.
Cheers.
Hell yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching, and yeah, we're gonna call it there. Almost exactly an hour. All right.
There you go. Cash money.
Perfect.
Peace.
Peace.